Hey, I'm Daniel Norton. Welcome to my studio in New York City.
I'm Marissa, and welcome again.
Yes, we're back and we're going to do, it's literally not the same day, I swear.
I know, I have a different dress, different color.
You can tell it's just, I am actually in a different black shirt. Maybe. No. So we're going to do flash. So I want to do the metering part earlier in the day so that we could get the hang of it, right? But now I want to talk about using flash because flash is going to be something you're going to want to work with. You know, it's something that a lot of people want to work with. And we're still going to use a light meter. So the reason that you want to work with flash, usually, I feel like we're like sideways when it comes to it, is that it's for its power. Like I always say, because when you're a photographer and you're trying to light stuff, what you really want to do is you want to have control, right? Flash gives you control because it allows you to take over the space. This is a very powerful, very beautiful dado light that we were using in the last one, a beautiful light. But when we're using this light, there's still some light from the space that's affecting us. We can't get rid of it. But with the power of flash, we can. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. And then we're gonna bring a model in and Marissa's gonna be like, what? So let's start where we were. So that's off, right? The remote on top is not on, right?
Yep, I can turn it on.
No, off, should be good.
Okay.
We're gonna start with the ambient. So if we remember last time, I mean, I'll just remeter it. Make sure nothing changed. Right, we're at around the 30th at f4, right? It was the exposure. So go ahead and make a shot like that. Right, so that's with this light, right? And it looks pretty good, right? And you're like, oh, that light looks really good, oh. But actually, that's not just this light. If we were to turn this light off, in fact, make it my hair perfect.
You still have like a streak across
I have
your
one
head.
streak across my forehead. You see that there's still a lot of light there, right? So really, most of the light in the space is just the light in the space. All we were doing with this one was really shaping it, which is cool. Like if you're gonna do an interview with somebody in an open space, or you're gonna shoot some natural light portraits and you wanna fill in, this is great. But if we don't like all that light, getting rid of it is a problem, right? But not for flash. Not for flash. For just 6 easy payments of, right? So what the flash is gonna do is, this is not perfect. Get ready to put your comments in about how I'm saying it wrong. In a lot of ways, the flash doesn't care about the shutter speed. Because remember, we have our exposure triangle, right? When you're using flash, the shutter speed is not as relevant. There is what they call a sync speed, which is the maximum speed that your camera can sync with the flash. If you go over that, it won't work. There is something called high-speed sync, which we'll talk about in another video, but we'll assume that doesn't exist right now. And for this camera, that's 1/200th of a second. So let's set the camera to 200th of a second and see how much of the light it gets rid of. We'll take another picture like that. And you should see it gets pretty dark, right? That's going to eliminate most of the light. Now we can also mess with our aperture and stuff, but let's not do that yet. Instead, let's turn the flash on. So turn the remote on. Okay, once it's fired up, you can press that test button. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, remember I showed you on the meter, there's a flash mode, right, which is basically, looks like a little lightning bolt. I have it set at 200th of a second, 100 ISO. I'm going to push the button once, it starts flashing. I'm going to hold it up, and then you're going to test button, test fire. And we're going to get, it's showing a little bit over f4, but that's fine. So go ahead and take a shot now with the flash. Right, and there we are. Yeah, it's actually a little bit hot, so the meter was right. All right, so we can see how much of the space is gone, right? It's like, look at how dark it is compared to any of the other shots. That's because the flash is powerful and we're able to remove that light. Now, this is, of course, this is a beauty dish, which is making me extra beautiful. And I don't have this turned on anymore. Now, you can also, of course, mix them together, and we'll do that now. So if I turn this guy back on, because remember, it's not like this is nothing, right? So let's now shoot them together. We're not changing anything. You see a little bit of detail on that side of my face, right? If we want to get more detail on this side from our film, now we can start adjusting our shutter speed to a slower shutter speed.
Gotcha.
So maybe like go down to like 1/100th of a second, right? That's a good choice. Nice. Right, and now we're getting a mix. We're mixing the flash with the light, with the daylight. And you mentioned this in a couple videos back where you talked about how Seth does a lot of stuff with the pop and blur and stuff. This is how you would do that, right? Because this light is only exposing at the 100th of a second, where this one is very fast. So this will actually stop motion. This one won't so much. So if I was to like move my hand up and down, we might get some blur. I mean, I don't think I can move that fast, but good.
All right.
Right, the flash should more or less stop my hand.
Oh.
Right, look at that. Talk to the hand. Right, whereas if I do it on this side, where I'm getting mostly ambient light, it should be a little bit, it's actually still pretty frozen because the flash is hitting it still. Yeah. Even over here, the flash is still hitting it. So see, the flash could actually stop my hand, even though, oh, no, plus 100th of a second. But so we can mix it together. There's that certain level. If we start dialing down really slow shutters, then we start ending up with
Like 150th?
with the blur. Like,
Go
I don't
try?
know. Yeah, go down to our original thing, a 30th of a second.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
And go.
Oh, you did too slow. She's too slow.
Well, still a little blurry your elbow.
Yeah, let's see. I'll spin this like a maniac. There we go. I'm spinning it. I'm spinning it.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, right? We got a little blur. That's because now you're at a 30th of a second.
That's a great photo.
That's pretty good, right? But I am still sharp. Whoops, background picture. I'm still sharp because of the flash. And that's the thing, right? Because the flash is firing at what they call the flash duration, which is how long the flash fires. So in theory, well, in practice actually, if you're in a space that's completely dark, no matter what your shutter speed is set at, if you only have a flash firing, effectively your shutter speed is the flash duration. So like this flash, when it's turned all the ways down, is like a 20,000th of a second. So if I want to stop like something flying through the air, like water splash or something, I could get rid of all the light in the space, the ambient light that is, and then just use the flash and it will freeze it, right?
Nice.
To be able to shoot that fast with a constant light source, you'd have to have like a huge light that's very powerful that you wouldn't normally have. Yeah. So that's really the advantage of flash, control. Also with the flash, you get the cool beauty dish, which makes people more beautiful. Clearly you can see in the photo. But yeah, you got that, so you want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
All right.
A shot. Okay, so now we're gonna take some photos of my beautiful friend, Kat. All right, we ready?
I'm ready, but I realize that Kat is not wearing the 17-inch heels that you have on. Marisa is not nearly as tall as she tries to pretend to be in the videos.
Okay.
Okay, so when Marisa wasn't looking, reset the flash. So the flash is not set correctly, so we're gonna have her meter it to give us a proper exposure. You ready?
Mm-hmm. And go.
She's making a face because I turned the power down really low. So you're probably not getting any reading, right?
Well, I got f1.4.
Oh, 1.4. Aha.
Well, it only goes down to 4. So I have to set the
That's correct. It only goes to f4. So no, but in this case, right, if we're using ambient light, then we could adjust our shutter speed. But since the shutter speed doesn't really affect that, you have two options. You could either turn your ISO up, but if you do that, it will
Lower the
also
quality.
affect the ambient light, or we turn the power of our flash up, which is what we want to do. So 1.4, I mean, I know you don't know the f-stops yet, so I'll just tell you 1.4.
That means it's wide open.
That's right. It's wide open for a lot of lenses. So you need to go to f4, which is about 3 stops. So I'm going to turn the flash up 3 stops. I'm doing it with the remote. And then we'll do another test. So go ahead and press it again.
All right.
Remember to let go. Okay.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I just held it the whole time.
No, don't do that. Press once and then let go. Press once. You see it flashing. Is it flashing?
Yes.
Okay. Now hold it in the right position. Now fire the flash. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
What do we got?
f2.5.
2.5. So we're not quite there. Okay. Let's try it again. Also, it's pretty important that you always put it in the same spot.
3.2.
Almost. She's really finessing it here. All right, good. And again, we're just going to adjust it until we get the right exposure.
3.6.
Just do it again.
4.
There we go.
Oh.
All right, so now all I did was, and again, just because it's the simplicity of the video, all I was doing was the remote has plus and minus buttons on it. Every flash is different, so I didn't want to go into detail on that. All I'm doing is turn the power of the flash up, but we haven't changed anything else. So now, Marisa's going to come in here and hopefully make an amazing shot.
All right, so here we go.
Now, this is going to be pretty contrasty, remember, because all the light's coming from one side.
Let's pray for me. Gotta get Kat some good photos. Okay, there we go.
Okay, that's very dark. Oh, it's like Rembrandt lighting. Oh, look at that. Oh, you got it with her eyes closed.
All right, let's do one more.
Come on now. Let's get an open eye.
Say cheese, or whatever expression you want.
All right, so this type of lighting is very dramatic, but maybe not the ideal beauty light, right, on such a beautiful model. So we can do a lot of different things. We could move the position of it, or if we want to just make it a little bit more filled in, remember we did that before with the other light. So what do you think? Should we move the light source? Let's move it first.
Yeah,
right?
I would say we either turn that light, or we could use a reflector.
Oh, you want to use a reflector? Look at that. As usual, Marisa mentioned something that we didn't plan for, but I went and got a reflector. I went down to the store and bought this just now. So yeah, that's true. We could take this reflector and we can bounce light back in. So all I'm going to do here is just, it's probably
You're
a
in
shot.
frame,
Yeah, I'm sure
but
it
does
is,
that matter? We can crop it.
Yeah, for this we're just looking. Right, and there we go. We can fill it in a bit.
Ooh, she's
That's
so pretty.
not bad, right?
Yeah.
I think the position of the light's not exactly beautiful, so let's change that a bit. I don't want this to be too much about that, but we also want to make sure Kat gets a shot that she really is happy with and doesn't hate you later. Typically with a female model, I prefer to put the light in the center. It tends to look a little bit nicer.
And slightly above.
And slightly above, exactly, just like that. And then we can also zoom in a bit.
Then I have to raise it a bit.
And raise it a bit.
Oh.
Let's get a slightly nicer shot.
She's so pretty.
Right? Now we move the light, so we're going to have to remeter it.
All right. All right, so now I have to remeter.
That's right.
All right.
So hold it right in front of her face towards the light source.
Wait, I wasn't ready. Do it again.
5, okay.
5, yeah.
All right. All right, go ahead and do another one. Well, you can just shoot at 5. That's fine. You can shoot at 5. There's no reason not to. That's the other way to do it, guys. You can just adjust the camera. So go ahead and adjust the camera to F5. The police are coming. Did you do anything?
They're like, oh, you're adjusting to F5. All right, pretty lady.
There you go.
Ooh.
A little nicer, right? Still
she's so
needs
pretty.
still a bit shadowy, right?
A little shadowy, but.
Right. So that's big, and we can probably bring the reflector back in. Actually, I think it's because I'm using a grid here. So what I'm actually going to do is bring this up.
Do I need to remeter now? Since you brought it up?
Yes. See, she's on it. What does it say?
It says 4.5.
All right, so go back down to 4.5.
All right.
Yep. Better?
Yeah.
Okay, better
And now let's
exposure-wise.
bring the
And now
reflector.
we'll add the reflector.
Nice.
Is that in the shot? There we go.
Ooh.
I think for her, because you've got such dramatic eye makeup and stuff, I think a reflector's not enough. Like, I think we want to add
Another light?
We want to add a fill because I think it'll just be a little better. You know, it kind of comes down to taste, but I would say generally speaking, if somebody's got like darker eyes, you want to probably use fill light versus a reflector. And I'm just going to move it in from the same direction because we like to hide the subject behind the lights.
So
Turn this on. Remember, this isn't going to do anything at your settings. So
yeah,
we need to give it
go
some shutter
lower
speed.
Yeah.
Right, so go ahead and give yourself some shutter
100?
speed. Yeah, let's drop it down to 100 to see. You could also meter it, but let's see. Let's just do it by eye, which is how I would do it. And there you go. See how it's looking nicer already? Now we've got, yeah, see, we can see. I think you could probably actually give her even a tiny bit more. So again, you're going to do that
Less
by
shutter speed?
less shutter speed, exactly.
We'll do 160.
Yeah.
Look out,
Yeah, look at that.
Sephora. I think we found a new model.
Yeah, look at how beautiful that is.
She's beautiful.
Cool. All right, well, interact.
All right, girlfriend. All right, now, I want you to imagine that you are on the cover of Vogue right now. And you are like the it girl. Like everybody wants to hire, they're paying you $1 million. Everybody is like, we want Kat. Kat is, yeah, you're flawless.
Marisa. Okay, that's what everybody wants.
All right, now I want you to imagine, have you ever seen the show Bridgerton? Okay, well imagine that you're like a regal queen, you know, and everybody worships you, and you're like, you're a regal queen. It's your birthright. You're flawless. You're gorgeous. You're the most gorgeous and most beloved lady. Okay, now imagine that I'm a guy across the bar, and you're like, you want me to notice you with a look.
I don't know what to do. I'm awkward as hell.
You have to hold up your empty drink.
Cheers.
It's good. Pretty.
Beautiful!
Look at you. She's a natural.
She is a natural.
Yeah. So this is really nice. Now the only thing we'll see, right? 'Cause remember, you drop your shutter speed pretty low, but we do have the flash coming in though, and you can see she's still nice and sharp,
She's so sharp.
right? Because all we're doing is filling in with the other light. That's really nice.
And she has great skin.
You do have great skin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one.
That's a good one with the laugh and everything. Yeah. You
Although
got nice
the eyes
light.
are a little blurry.
Yeah, and that's because
The
fill.
shutter speed.
Yep. The shutter speed. Exactly.
Could I open the aperture? Or I guess I'm already at, I can barely.
You
open.
could do more
It only goes to
ISO.
4.
So let's try that. So,
Yeah.
so look, we're here, right? We're at 60th, right? So now again, take your, hold on before you do anything. Don't get all excited. You're 60 to 4. Turn your shutter speed, remember count the clicks until you get to 200.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, now press the ISO button. And then dial that up
1,
until you number of clicks. Yep.
3, 4, 5.
Now, hold on. That's good, except the flash exposure is not going to be right because you've adjusted your ISO. So we know that that's balanced, right?
Yeah.
So that you should be able, so your fill light is now right. The problem is going to be that you've now increased your flash by a little over 2 stops. So go up on the controller and just press that minus. Yep, the minus button over on the left. And bring it.
5?
Bring it down. Nope. You got to bring it down. It's intense if you're doing it that way. You got to bring it down 2
whole stops?
2 whole stops and a little bit more. So 2 whole stops and let's say 1 more.
So
That should
2.1?
Yeah, that should get you there.
All right, pretty lady. How's that look?
It looks exactly the same as the other, which is exactly what you wanted. That means you did the math right. And it's sharp.
All right.
Look at that. We've changed our shutter speed up and our ISO to match it, so you've used the exposure triangle just like you learned last time. Look at that, Marissa's got this.
All right. I want you to think of your favorite food. And imagine that I'm holding a plate of your favorite food right here in front of you.
The reason why she's laughing is because it's spaghetti and she's not imagining a plate.
It's just
In my hand. Imagine my hand is full of spaghetti and I'm about to like feed it to you like cat. This is your food.
soup.
Oh, it's soup.
All over.
There you go.
Yay.
Cute. And there you go, right? So you're able to do it. Nice and simple. You were able to balance the exposure even with the flash. And again, just to show one more time, so we know it's working, let's turn this off. Let's just take one more shot with just the flash. Okay. And we can see it's more shadowy, right? And then let's do one shot with just the hot light. So turn the flash off by pressing the remote off at the very top. Just hold
On?
that down until it turns off. Yeah, it says on, but that's the on off button. You have to hold it. There you go. Now take a shot like that. And you can see what the 2 lights are doing separately. See? So that's your fill light, right? And then the other one is your flash. And those lights together create the top. That.
Ha! Fill, flash, together.
Yeah, pretty good, right?
And cat will only smile if they're together.
Awesome. Okay, so awesome, guys. I think that was pretty good. So you kind of get the mix of the flash. We'll get more into flash. We'll talk about high-speed sync. We'll do other things as we progress. A little bit at a time, right? Don't want to give it all to Marisa all at once because she'll just take it. So go ahead, subscribe, ring the bell. I'll put everybody's information in the description. So Marissa's and Kat, so you guys can look her up. I think it's cat.com.
No.
No, it's not, but we'll put it in.
Underscore cats.
Oh, in underscore.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's fancy.
Yeah, and when you start adding those underscores, you know you got it made. It's like, yeah, underscore. And it's not like an underscore, it's literally the word No, it's not. We'll put it in the description anyways, guys, and we'll see you next time.